Welcome into Ricky's Mailbox. I'm Ricky Metallico. You can catch me and the crew, Tyrone Johnson, Savannah Kelleher, on the best show ever from 2 to 6, Monday through Fridays. We're there every day. Come and catch us on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. This is where we're taking questions about the Phillies, and I'm going to see if I can't answer them all for you, and you could go in the comments, ask questions for the next one. But today, Dylan's going to give us questions. We're going to try to answer them the best of our abilities.
This is from Paul Rudman. Can we just admit Stott is not as great as everyone thinks? Elbow injury for most of last season. He's been on a downward spiral since August 2023.
Yeah, Stott has struggled. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I think the one thing you have to take into consideration is that he's a really good second baseman. As a matter of fact, I consider him a Gold Glove type second baseman. And he's a guy you kind of need in the lineup just because of that. I mean, the guy could play defense. I don't think you're asking him to do all that much. I don't think you're asking him to go out there and hit 25, 30 home runs and bat 300. I mean, the one thing you need him to do is raise up his on-base percentage. It's just been too low. And the thing that puzzles me the most is that we asked a question the other day, who would bat second behind Trey Turner? And most of the votes were Bryce Harper, but right behind him, believe it or not, was Bryson Stott, just 8 percentage points behind Bryce Harper. That's baffling to me because this is a guy, especially last year, who was having troubles laying off of pitches. When you get to 2 strikes, if you remember 2 years ago, he would spread out his legs and make sure he just used his hands and fought off pitches when he needed to. That's the guy he's got to get back to. You don't need this guy going up there swinging for the fences. What you need him to do is drive the ball from gap to gap and up the middle. And I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but if his elbow was hurting him last year, his numbers really didn't show it from the time period that we're talking about. But, I mean, maybe he just didn't feel right. Maybe he just didn't feel great. And I'm not one to make excuses for anybody, but I could look at it in a sense that, okay, if you're injured a little bit and you're trying to play through it, I tip your hat. You tip your hat to that guy. But sometimes you got to know when to say when. And that's something we've seen here in Philly sports very recently, not just in baseball, but other sports. That guys are playing hurt, and it's not helping out the team. This is a guy that's got to be a helper. He doesn't have to be number 1, 2 on the team. He's just got to be a helper.
This next one's from Joe Fines. At some point in the season, will Dombrowski, in this case spelled D-U-M-B, I'm not sure if that's a typo or not,
Oh, boy.
address getting a quality everyday left fielder?
I think they did. I think Kepler is the guy that they think is going to be an everyday type left fielder. I mean, you have to understand, the Phillies have a bunch of guys under contract, from JT to Casty to Schwarber. Keep going. They've done they've done what they needed to do. They've spent a lot of money. John Middleton has spent a lot of money on this team. Obviously, you want to see this team succeed. But, I mean, to go out and just continue to buy with no guarantee, it's not going to happen every single year. And I really believe in the sense that I think Dombrowski was kind of held back a little bit. And I think that's the reason why you end up with a guy like Max Kepler instead of an Anthony Santander. Just for the sole reason that you're not going to go out there and spend another $200 million this offseason, and then your payroll just keeps going up and up. Next year you got some guys coming off of that payroll if the Phillies don't choose to extend those guys. But I just think right now what you actually have is Max Kepler. He's going to play, obviously, left field. You're going to have Casty and right, and you're going to have all different combinations in center field. And, when you have that, it is what it is. You can't have a $25 million player at every position at the big league level. You'll never survive as a business.
This next one's from Pat Groff. If the same players in the lineup are 1, 2, 3, does it really matter which one hits 1, which one hits 2, and which one hits 3?
The reason why they want, let me start by this. The reason why they want Trey Turner to hit 1 is so he cuts down his swing. They want him to hit the ball on a line They want him to take pitches. They want him to walk. Why? Because this guy a walk is as good as a double at many points with a guy like Trey Turner. He's got tremendous speed. He gets on second base. Then you get some hitters behind him. Now you're talking about one thing. You're talking about just driving them in. The number 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. I think it's important for Schwarber to be. We know Harper's going to be in that 1, 2, or 3. We know Turner's going to be in that 1, 2, and 3. I think it's important to get Schwarber an at-bat in the first inning. The more at-bats you get Kyle Schwarber, the better opportunities you are to put points up on the board. And no matter what you want to think, I mean, this is a guy that hits home runs at will. I know he gets really streaky in June. That's his month. I mean, but when you give him more chances, there's a good chance he's going to hit more home runs. So you got to get him into the 1, 2, or 3 spot. I know that Thompson doesn't like to go back-to-back, righty, lefty. But that, to me, at this given time, it doesn't matter because you have 2 proven veterans that are left-handed hitters, and they can hit left-handed pitchers also. So I don't think you have that doubt in your mind when you put those 2 back-to-back. But, I mean, there's different combinations you can go with. We may see different combinations as the season goes on. But it just seems as though they're really trying to push the Trey Turner to the 1 spot so that he cuts his swings down, cuts down on his strikeouts, and uses his speed to the best of his ability.
This one's from Mike Gradle. With the Mets spending in free agency and the Braves being 100% healthy, could we see a possible drop-off from this team?
I don't believe so. I'll start with the Mets. Yeah, they went out and got Soto. Does that bother you? Does that really bother you? Their lineup, they're going to be able to hit. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you're talking about Lindor. You talk about Alonso, who could hit home runs. And then you talk about Soto, who's one of the best players in baseball. Yeah, they're going to score some runs. But take a real good look at their pitching staff. That is really all you have to do. Just take the Phillies starting 5, put them up against the Mets starting 5, and you'll see something there that you didn't see last year. What you'll see is a dominance of the Phillies starting pitching. And no matter what you think or know, good starting pitching will beat good hitting. Come on. Best hitters in the world hit 300. Think about that. Failing 7 out of 10 times. You put the best pitchers in the world up against them, that number goes down. So I think it's that simple with the Mets. I think the same thing about the Braves. Yeah, they have some guys that have some pop on that team. Obviously, Olsen's a guy that's going to hit some home runs. But you're also got a guy in your best player and one of the better players in baseball in Ronald Acuna Jr., who is coming off another knee surgery. How valuable is he going to be? Is he going to be ready for the season? Is he going to be 100%? That's something that you're going to have to see. He's also a stolen base threat. Is he going to be taking those bases? Probably not this year. I just can't see it. I just can't see a player that's getting older and has 2 knee surgeries kicking in gear. And you look at their pitching staff, I'll put the Phillies staff up against them also.
Okay. This one's a quick question from someone you work with. What is Ricky's favorite condiment?
My favorite condiment? To put on what?
Oh, it's a question that someone from the office submitted.
My favorite condiment to put, well, it's kind of tricky. To put on what? I know who it is. I obviously just peeked up and I know exactly who it is. I got to go. I'll just go with ketchup because I use it for French fries. There's no other way to go with that, is there?
Okay.
What am I going to say? Mustard? I like to dip everything in mustard? No.
Yeah, well, one final question from Small John 83. Will we see Harper be an MVP candidate again?
It's a heck of a question. Will he be a candidate? Yes. But you have a guy in Shohei Ohtani that's going to be tough to beat every single year he's in the league. So I think he'll be a top 5 candidate, absolutely. I think Bryce Harper is one of those guys, when he is completely healthy, he's going to put together a monster season. Can this be the season? Yeah, it really could be. After this year and probably after next year, then you start worrying about that slide down the age ladder because it happens to everybody. And, once you start getting a little older in this game, that ball comes in a little quicker. The ball's moving a lot more, and you may have some problems hitting the baseball. But right now, I still think he's in the edge of his prime. that he could still put up big numbers. I think he could still put up a 40 home run season, and it wouldn't surprise me if he jumps in today, this year, and puts up 35, 40 home runs and 120 RBIs, and that will put him definitely in the conversation with a Shohei Ohtani. So there you have it. There's Ricky's mailbox for at least this part of the week. We're going to take more of your questions, and we'll continue to answer them for as long as you want them answered. We're going to do this in the spring training and into the regular season. You can catch me, Tyrone Johnson, Savannah Kelleher, all on the best show ever. It's from 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. Join us there. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching our YouTube. If you want to help us out, go ahead and like and subscribe for us. If you liked what you saw, go right over here to our playlists and pick out whatever you want to watch.